In this video, we'll be taking a look at a Saxon Model 555 portable tape recorder with 5-inch reels, capstan drive, and battery and AC operation. Before we do anything, we should take and do a quick mechanical inspection of the exterior of the machine. Well, the housing looks really good. There's no dings or bangs or dents, or it doesn't look like it was ever dropped, which is a good thing. All of the keys on the functions are straight, so it looks like mechanically that looks pretty good. Front panel is in good shape. All around it looks in really good shape mechanically. Guy's really heavy, about 13 pounds. It's all metal, there's no plastic. Cover opens well. Again, no dents or anything out of the ordinary. You can tell it has been used. You have some real rubbings on the faceplate. They're kind of light, but they're visible. The capstan sleeves, there's the 7.5-inch capstan sleeve. I believe this is the 3 3/4 capstan sleeve. And without any sleeves, it's 1 7/8. The battery compartment, internally there's no battery leaks on the contacts, but up and above that it's physically in really good shape. Oh, in the back you have the AC line cord. The machine has a leather case. Quite surprised for a machine of this age. All the stitching is very good. It's not unraveling. The leather is dark black. Anybody who's has ever done any reconditioning on older equipment, electronic equipment, has probably seen the AC lamp test set. And it's basically just in series with the AC line, so if there's any internal short on the device under test, the lamp here would take the full load and not blow up anything, or hopefully not destroy anything inside the machine in case there was some kind of an internal short. But right now there's no real short. AC indicator is on. The lamp is limiting the current. You see a small dim light on the lamp, so there's no internal short, so that's a good sign. One problem that needed to be cured was the volume and tone controls were completely locked up. You couldn't even turn them. Apparently the lubrication had failed on the shafts, and they were pretty much locked up. What I was able to do is to take a soldering iron, just hold it down toward the base of each shaft for a good couple of minutes, I would think, 4 or 5 minutes. I'm going to be patient on that one. And that was enough to apparently melt the lubrication, and that completely unlocked the controls. Now I'm worried that once the shafts cool down, if the lubrication again will lock up the control. We'll see, but I doubt it. I think we've cured that. To remove the top panel is quite straightforward. There was a couple covers that went over the head assembly here. Those come straight off. There's a knurled nut that you remove to get the pinch roller off, and then there's only 5 small Phillips screws to take the remove the top panel. I wanted to do this to investigate some of the lubrication points in the mechanism, and there aren't all that many. Mechanism is pretty straightforward. There's no belts in the top part of the, well, there is one. There's one belt that drives the tape counter, but that's the only belt on this side. The other side has a belt between the drive motor and the flywheel. Other than that, there's no belt. Everything is roller activated. And investigating, the rollers are in extremely good shape. There's no flats, which would indicate that the machine had been placed in, say, play mode for an extended period of time, which it wasn't. So there's only a very few lubrication points that really need to be addressed, and very, very minor. And whenever you're doing lubrication, one of the things you don't want to do is get any lubrication on any of the rubber parts. Just some of the very, very minor points in the mechanism. I've removed the front and bottom cover, and it was relatively simple. There's only 3 or 4 bolts for the front cover and 4 or 5 for the bottom. Comes off relatively easily. The very reason for doing this is I don't have the service manual for this guy. So what I need to do is to fabricate a microphone and an output adapter of some kind, or just modify a microphone and to interface with these Phillips DIN connectors. Now what I did is I took the front panel down lower, and I'm trying to get a quick hand-drawn diagram of the back of the connectors, because I'm going to have to fabricate something for a microphone. And also the controls are easily accessed, also the switches and so forth for cleaning. I'm going to be doing the cleaning on the each individual switch, so those are easily accessed at this point, and volume and tone control. And I did replace the main drive belt. I just happen to have the right size in my stock, and replaced the main drive belt. This is the only, actually this is the only belt in the machine, save for, I showed it in another video, there's a belt that drives the tape counter. But this is the only main drive belt in the machine. Okay, and now we'll give the heads a good cleaning, and of course some of the guideposts as well. And I see a little bit of dirt in there. Not much. These heads are pretty clean, a lot cleaner than I've seen in a lot of machines. And just for good measure, we will also do a quick demagnetization. I'm going to take a look at the bias signal right on the record head. About 30 volts peak to peak, 15 microseconds. Let me just check. And at 15 microseconds, so that equates to about a bias frequency of about 66 to 67 kilohertz at 30 volts peak to peak right on the record head. As I mentioned earlier, I don't have the service manual for this machine, so I'm going to have to do, or had to do, a little poking around to determine the input and output, more specifically the microphone input. And it looks like what we have is a low-level input is on pin 1, and the system does have a monitor so you can hear what you're recording. Sure enough, that looks like a low-level microphone input. The next point seems to be a very high level. I think that's going to be like a line input. Microphone on pin 1, line input here.